Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Factory in the Sky 4 on the FTOG server. I'm sorry about last week. I came down with a little bit of a bug, and then the week got busy, so I wasn't able to make up for the episode. But here we are back at it again. I have had a lot of time to do some stuff. One of those is not move the cow. So the cow is still there. I actually just picked up this everlasting beef from the farm, from the mob farm, which supposedly is not consumed when eaten, so it should just last forever. I'm not hungry right now, but we'll see how that goes. So I'm just going to move through the base and show you all the stuff I've done, and hopefully I will get it all by the end. So, first, I made the powered alloy smelter, so it's the same, it just takes power now. This will let me make steel with coal and iron, and that's great, because now I can use the platinum hammer if I really need it, but I don't right now. And if we take a look at the Ender.io questline here, there's only two other machines, the Slice and Splice and the Soulbinder, so basically all of Ender.io can fit in this, in like a 3x3. I'm not going to leave it here forever. We are eventually going to build a, processing machine room. But for now, that's there. This is not new. We have here a loot crate opener, which basically you just feed a loot crate in and it will open it. And then I put a hopper, so it will take from above it. So basically, all the loot crates are now pumped directly in here and just automatically processed when I have the farm on. I will get to these later. I made a singularity tank, so I can put my XP in here now, and an XP tap to get it out. Observe. Take that. Then we can drain it away. Not too complicated. We have a shepherd's pie here, which now might just stay there for a while. I decided to make the Aether Portal. We probably won't do that this episode. Maybe next episode we'll do a dungeon run and get all the stuff from the Aether. I've done that on the channel before. I'm interested to see if this new version has anything interesting in it, but, you know, whatever. We'll do a run through that soon. I upgraded the furnace to netherite and gave it a fuel efficiency upgrade, or augment. So it cooks slower, but uses fuel more efficiently now. We head in here, we have a barrel mixer, and that's why I have this... I don't know what's going on with my mouse today. I have this dust and sand, because, as you can see, we have a water barrel, we have a lava barrel, I can control both of those with levers, and I have a mycelium beneath the thing, and a barrel with a hopper upgrade below it. So a barrel with a hopper upgrade will automatically place into things below it, so it's very compact. And the thing about the way this works, I originally thought I was going to have to move this, because I thought immediately any water that went into here would turn into some, intermediate stage, but that's not true. So, if I put the let's turn the water on, so it automatically fills. If I put the sand in here, it will automatically transfer one into soul sand, and the other one won't go through until that turns into witch water. But if I put in the dust, it will automatically process through before it turns into witch water. So it's the best of both worlds. And if we look at the barrel mixing here, fluid mixing, blackstone, obsidian, netherrack, stone, all come from our generators here, and the slime comes from the mob farm. In the block mixing, we need to make endstone, which will be... I'm not quite sure what happened there, but for some reason, I got kicked off the server momentarily, but I'm back now, so let's continue the episode. Stone barrel mixing. We need to be able to make endstone, so that's glowstone, that's an item, and lava. Slime, don't need to be able to make. I already showed you soul sand, that's a witch water and sand. Ice, water, item. Clay, water, item. Lava, item for magma cream, water and item, or lava and item for that, and then we don't need the slime. So basically, everything we need to make can be made with water, lava, or witch water. and then an item in here. So this is the most compact thing that will barrel mix everything. The one thing I don't see, oddly enough, is mud. Now, mud, as far as I know, is dirt and water. So it's weird that the barrel can't make it. But moving on, where's next? Are we hungry yet? No, we're not hungry yet. Moving in here, I made a bonsai tree room. You need an axe to cut stuff now, unfortunately. So it does take a resource. It doesn't take it every single time, though. It doesn't take a durability. So it lasts a while. This is a decoration spot, so I've taken to a little bit of decoration here. We have oak, spruce, birch, jungle, dark oak, acacia, mangrove, and then an azalea plant right now. And all of this will be like coral and mushrooms and stuff. But this is what our supplies are looking like right now. Now, I'm sure you saw before, I am voiding hemp seeds because I'm not sure those aren't supposed to come from this. That's a bug. This, however, the lush dragon egg, does come from the azalea bush, and I think it's supposed to. Like, I think that comes from the azalea trees, so we'll play with that eventually later. I'm not sure quite how to use it, but we will investigate that soon. Yes. Moving upstairs, we have our aesthetics room. We have all the chipped stuff. We have this, essentially it's a stone cutter for wood. We have a stone cutter. We have a framing saw for the framed blocks. And a loom for making banners. So we have all of this aesthetic stuff right in one room. That will become important eventually. Moving right along, I made the metal press, finally. Let me sleep real quick, so we have more light. Alright, there we go. We have this. We have the metal press. I need the extracting conveyor belt to get stuff out of the chest. But one of the great things is that we can now make blaze rods. So if I put this in here, you'll see. It does drop it out eventually. Oh, I didn't put the metal press in. I was in plate mode. So we'll do that, and that will go automatically in there. Those plate molds were made by this engineer's workbench, which I needed to make the plate molds, the rod mold I wanted. Which, in order to make that, I needed creosote oil from the coke oven. So I just threw a stack of coal blocks in there, and I've been cooking that up, not for too long, but I got enough to make the treated wood for all of this stuff. Oh. Okay. Let's throw all of that away, because we don't need it. Target dummy. That's pretty standard. You hit it, it displays the numbers. Boom. Yay. We got a smithing table. I made the auto crafter and like the pattern grid and everything for the refined storage system. I haven't set anything up yet because I don't know what I want to auto craft, but there's a lot of pattern space. So that'll be fun when we really need it. We've seen this. This is the garden cloche from Immersive Engineering, which lets you grow crops in a little glass tube at the expense of water. So I hooked up power, I hooked up some water, and I'm growing poppies and dandelions. I do not have them yet pulling out into barrels or drawers or whatever, but this essentially, going for the philosophy of I want to make as many block types available as possible, and while from the machine I can get cactus and lapis for blue and green dye and bone meal from that, I did not have a source of yellow and red dye. And now that I have that, there was only one thing left, and that is black dye. Now, black dye comes from squid ink, and squids you have to farm. There's no alternate way to get squid ink in this pack. So I built a squid farm, and I don't have any XP. It requires that I have XP for some reason. It just doesn't actually take it, as far as I'm aware. Let's see. Squid farm. Flask squid farm. No, it doesn't actually take the XP. It just requires that I have it for some reason, which I'm okay with. Everlasting beef. Oh, I gained 2 hearts from that. And that is on a cooldown, I see. So it's not great for, like, combat healing, but it'll keep me fed for ever. This block is where I have to stand to make the squid spawn. But if we head over here, squid spawn between Y50 and Y63. So that's that chunk of water down there. Apparently the squid will spawn while I'm here. Basically, the way this works is there's a fan at the bottom that's maxed out, and that will push the squid upward, or it should push this. Did I turn it? I might have turned it off. And then there's these 4 fans up here, which once the squid are up in this top block of the farm, it will push them inward towards the max looting, max sharpness mob grinder there. And this is designed to pick up everything. It actually worked out really well with the area, because now we have a vacuum hopper picking up everything in there. It feeds it into this ender tank and this ender chest, which are diamonded for privacy, and they are blue, 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 and blue, blue, blue. Why are you not draining out, though? Oh, it is draining out. It's just not. It's a visual glitch. But you'll remember there were copies of these back at the mob farm, so I'm just feeding my squid farm into my mob farm chest for storage purposes. But let me go turn that on so we can see it properly. And in order to do that, I'm going to use my jetpack. And the jetpack is a form of flight that takes power, and I can turn it on and off. And I've hooked up the hotkeys so that the HUD and the engine turn on and off with the same key. So the HUD isn't there unless I need it. Now, the hover mode of this jetpack, and I've muted the sound using the muffler. I've muted the jetpack sound. It will hover. It's basically creative flight, and I can throttle the speed up and down. So this is the slowest possible speed. Up and down like that. And then the fastest is like this. So I can control my movement speed for whatever my purpose is. I usually like to keep it around 40. That seems to work for me. But if I head down, I can turn on the fan. Turn that on. And then if I up throttle to move upward, any squid that spawn in this block of water will automatically be pushed upward. I don't think they spawn fast enough for me to bother watching, but they do spawn, or with the looting, I have enough squid ink now. But the one thing I wanted to show you that was cool about this jetpack, like with other forms of creative flight or whatever, you have to hit the button every time you want to fly or whatever. The cool thing about the jetpack is if you have it on while you're walking around, it'll catch you. Like, I can just walk off the edge, and now I'm in jetpack mode, and then I can walk back on. I have to jump a little bit, but, oh, there we go. But yeah, the jetpack, if it's on, it'll just catch me. I'll fall a little bit, so I'll get stuck and have to go back on, but I can just walk around, which is great for building, because you accidentally walk off something and you're in the air now. So let me go back and show you where that's going to. Turn off the jetpack for now. Where's the engine? There it is. So let me just head back. You see the fluid pipe is piping into there. The ender chest is piping into there. And I have squid ink, and sometimes it will also spawn salmon. So we have that going right there. Okay, so this everlasting beef, I looked into it a little more. It led me down a cool little rabbit trail, because it showed me that the way to make it is via, no, Eternal Steak. Oh, interesting. We can cook it. I'm gonna get some coal while I talk about this to cook it up. But it appears that you can get it from a mimic prediction, like from the ether. Ooh, that's a lot more food. So, Hostile Neural Networks apparently has a prediction for the mimics from the ether mod. So maybe before we go into the ether, we'll want to work on this, which actually it doesn't look like will take any work at all. But we're going to want to get a data model so we can mimic, or get a mimic data model from, I believe that's in one of the mazes. And then we can make artifacts. Like, you can use the mimic prediction to make all sorts of things from the artifacts mod, which is really cool. That's a really cool way of using the prediction of something that turns into a chest. It gives you loot that you only really get from chests and loot boxes and stuff. So that's a cool idea. I don't think there's anything else novel in the mod, but the fact that there's a mimic data model is really cool, because a lot of these artifacts are really cool. So we'll want to start working on this. Maybe we'll do this next episode, if I get to it. But yeah, that's, I think, gonna do it for this episode. That took a little longer than I expected, but just about as long as I hope to show you around the base. And I'm kind of just hoping I can dehungerify or lose some health so I can try out this steak. So let's drop off. Oh, I have these bunny slipper things that minimize my fall damage. So I have to go pretty high to actually take some. There we go. A little more. Oh, there we go. Let's eat that up. So that's our food now. It's got a decent sized cooldown, but not as much cooldown as one would think for an infinite food. But this is our food now, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. So, sorry it took so long to come back, but I'm back now, I'm feeling better, and we have plans. So yeah, thanks for watching. Later.